If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you're petite like me. I'm 5'2" and you're ready to look amazing this autumn. So here are my best styling tricks just for you. In this video, I'm gonna show you outfits that I wouldn't wear, explain why, and then swap out items for ones that help make us look taller. And I'll be answering some really common questions that you may be having, such as how do we avoid looking bulky, what trousers do we pair with which shoes, and how do we wear oversized pieces? Because as a petite person, I truly believe that there's nothing we can't wear. It's just a matter of understanding how to wear it. And you can take these tips and apply them to your own wardrobes. I also have a couple of pieces from the amazing petite-friendly brand Petite Studio, who are kindly sponsoring a portion of this video. I've worked with them a few times before and their pieces are amazing for us petite women. The company are based in New York and they create pieces that are tailored to us. I think that the pieces I chose from their winter collection are so great, and I'm really excited to show you in more detail. Petite Studio currently have their Black Friday promotion on where you can get 30% off site-wide. There's no code, it will be taken off at the checkout. And the promotion is on until the 5th of December. So let's get into the first outfit that I wouldn't wear. A wool sweater, wide leg jeans, and chunky brogues. Now the reason why I wouldn't pair these pieces together is because, as you can see, everything is very big and chunky, and there are no slimmer pieces to help balance out any of the chunkier pieces. Generally speaking, if we want to wear something oversized on top, then we should pair it with something slimmer on the bottom. And then on the flip side, if we want to wear like wide leg trousers or something wide at the bottom, then we should pair it with something slimmer on top. And so I'm going to change these wide leg jeans to a pair of slimmer fitting ones. And I think immediately you can see how there is so much more balance. These jeans are from Petite Studio and I don't need to tell you how great they fit. I think you can see for yourself. They sit right on my ankle bone for the perfect length. They highlight all the right curves and the back pocket placement is so flattering. When it comes to elongating your legs, the lower your waist appears to start, the shorter your legs are going to look. And so you want your jeans or your trousers or skirt or whatever you're wearing on your bottom half to be mid or high rise. I say mid or high rise because it also depends on your own proportion. If your torso is short in comparison to your legs, then wearing something high rise might be a bit too unbalanced for you. You might end up cutting off your torso completely and just be looking like all legs and then arms, which we don't want. And so a mid-rise for you might be a better fit. It's all about creating balance. For me personally, I think my torso and my legs are in proportion with each other, and so I like my jeans to sit on my belly button, which is pretty high rise for me. And that's exactly where these jeans fit. Now I'm gonna swap this oversized sweater to one that is still oversized, but is in a slightly better proportion to my frame. This is also a Petite Studio sweater. It's 100% wool, it's really warm and cozy, and the cable knit design just screams winter to me. I would definitely advise sizing down in this jumper as it is already cut to be oversized. So how do we wear oversized pieces as a petite person? Because we often get told to avoid oversized, but I hate that advice. I love wearing oversized pieces. I think we just need to figure out how we can fit them to our bodies. So here are some things to look for. Even though the body of this jumper is oversized, it's cropped, which highlights the waist and balances out the proportion a little bit more. It also makes it easier to tuck in as there's less fabric. Also look out for the neckline and the sleeves. These both still fit on my body. Even though the jumper has a very deliberate drop shoulder for a more relaxed fit, it's still not too big. Moving on to the shoes, and shoes are one of the most important components of an outfit, in my opinion. And so with this outfit, I wouldn't wear these chunky soled brogues with these jeans. As these jeans have a slight kick flare at the bottom, so they go a little bit wider at the bottom, and then they're met with an equally kind of like chunky shoe, it just looks very heavy at the bottom of this outfit, and it draws your eyes downwards, which we do not want. And again, I think another piece of advice that we get as petites is not to wear chunky shoes. But I love these brogues and I want to wear them, so it's just kind of like figuring out how. I would pair these brogues with a slightly cropped pair of jeans like these ones. With the ankle showing, it just gives you a little bit of relief to the heaviness of the shoe, and it just stops it feeling too heavy. Going back to these Petite Studio jeans, which are a touch longer, I think that a more streamlined shoe, such as a loafer, would work much better. Whilst you can't see my ankle, you can see the top of the foot, which again just brings in a bit of lightness to the bottom of the outfit and makes it seem less heavy. I think that even a more streamlined boot could work here as well. I mean, it is winter time and we do want to keep our feet warm. Whilst these boots do have a chunky sole, they're not as chunky as the brogues. And because the top of the boot is still quite streamlined and the ankle is really slim, it sits really nicely underneath the jeans. And then I'm adding in a belt because I personally feel incomplete without one, a casual bag, and that is my everyday casual autumn outfit. For outfit number 2, we have a cardigan, a black wool skirt, and the same flat ankle boots. I love all of these items, but I wouldn't pair them together like this. Firstly, the cardigan is sitting on top of the skirt, and so there's no definition of where my waist is, which makes my legs appear shorter. And secondly, the boots have visually cut my legs off where the ankle is, and there are just so many visual breaks in this outfit that it's just very unflattering. So the first thing I'm going to swap out is the top to one that is similar-ish, but is much easier to tuck in. I have this high neck long sleeve top from Petite Studio here in this really nice soft gray color. It's 100% wool and has this nice sort of like ribbed texture. Great for layering and tucking in as it sits really close to the body. It's also high neck, and I've deliberately put my hair up here so that the high neck is even more accentuated. And I'm also going to add in some dangly earrings to bring this out even more. Anything that draws your eyes upwards, so think earrings or scarves or necklaces, anything that brings your eyes upwards gives you height. Now I'm dying to swap these ankle boots out because a flat ankle boot with a skirt is the best way to ensure you look short. Another shoe I wouldn't pair this with is something in a contrasting color, such as these white sneakers. These white trainers, whilst they are in a slim profile and would otherwise look nice in terms of shape, I think the color is just too much of a contrast with the black tights. Again, something slim like a loafer or a ballet flat would work really well here. Any sort of shoe that has a nice elongated toe box, as this helps extend the line down your body further and thus helping you appear taller. However, not all ballet flats are created equal. Something like this is not as elongating as it has a rounder toe and a higher vamp. It doesn't open up your foot as much as something like this, which you can see has a slightly pointier toe and a lower vamp. Whilst this silhouette with the ballet flat is probably the most flattering in terms of length, I also think that you should never prioritize looking taller over your personal style. And what I mean by that is that even though these ballet flats might make my legs look the longest, the combination of this very sweet top with the mini skirt and very sweet ballet flats is a bit too feminine for my personal style. I don't feel completely myself in this outfit, and so I would never sacrifice my own personal style just to look taller. If something technically makes you look taller, but you don't feel yourself or you don't feel 100% comfortable in it, then don't wear it. Don't sacrifice your own personal taste just to look a little bit taller. I personally want to toughen up this look a little bit more, and so instead of the ballet flats, I'm actually going to wear them with these knee-high boots. And these boots might be a little bit less lengthening than the ballet flats, but it's more in line with my personal style. However, I do still think that a mini skirt and a knee-high boot both work really well together to create an elongated silhouette. Especially as the tights and the boots and the skirt is all black, it creates a very streamlined silhouette. There's no like weird breaks anywhere. And do you know what is inside my boots? Let me show you. I have these little heel inserts. These are like my secret little trick. I just got these from Amazon. They are a couple of centimeters high, and we all know as petites that any centimeter, any millimeter makes a difference. These work in any flat boots. It does have to be a boot though. I've tried them in sneakers and it doesn't work. And to finish off this outfit, I have this incredible coat from Petite Studio. It is 90% wool and 10% camel hair, so really warm and super cozy. It has a very subtle herringbone pattern, which you know I love. Double-breasted design, and it has an oversized tailored fit with a strong shoulder. If you're not a fan of such a sharp shoulder, I do have another coat from Petite Studio that I think you'll like instead. And as the boots are a bit chunkier on the foot, I think it does also help to balance out that strong shoulder. Now, I'm gonna take a minute here to quickly discuss the difference between something that has been deliberately cut to be oversized, such as this coat, versus something that is just the wrong size. So if we look at this image, which I always seem to come across on Pinterest, we can see that this blazer is the wrong size. The sleeves are way too long. They are completely covering her hands. The shoulders are falling off her, and the overall width of the blazer is also too big. She's done really well to balance out the look with a pair of cropped slim trousers and these chunky flip-flops, which again give a bit of relief from how heavy the blazer is. But there's no denying that this blazer is just a few sizes too big. Now compare it to the Petite Studio's coat, which is deliberately oversized. We can see that the sleeves still fit my arms as they stop at my wrists. The shoulder pads are slightly exaggerated to give that oversized look, but they're not falling off my shoulders. And then the pocket placement for my hands is still in the right place. They aren't too low down, which they would be if the coat was too big. And the width and the length are still in proportion to me as well. And that's just something to bear in mind when shopping for oversized pieces. Because again, I don't want to say that we have to completely steer clear from them. We just have to look for ones that maybe are in more proportion to our frames. And as the coat and the shoes are oversized, we can balance out this whole outfit even further by wearing a smaller bag. And if you are wearing a crossbody bag, please ensure that it's not sitting below your hips. Anything lower than your hips, again, is gonna draw your eyes further down. It makes your legs look shorter, and it completely throws off any of the lengthening principles that you've applied to your outfit. So please make sure you wear your crossbody bags on your hip, or maybe even a little bit higher. For my next outfit, I'm wearing a pair of denim jeans and a cardigan. Again, I love both of these pieces so much, but they aren't the most lengthening on my frame. The cardigan is super long and it hits me at the widest part of my hips. These jeans are mid-rise, which are also not the most flattering, but I'm not gonna swap these pieces for something else. Like I said, I love both of these pieces, and there are always tweaks and tricks that we can do to make it work. So when it comes to knitwear, I normally tuck it in or do a half tuck so that you can see where my waist is. But as you can see with this cardigan, it doesn't really work because the pockets are at the front and they're quite low down. So I personally think it just looks a little bit odd. So instead, I'm going to unbutton the bottom button and kind of play with it a little bit so that it sits kind of split open so that you can see where the waist of my jeans are. So now, instead of my waist starting where the cardigan ends, my waist is a little bit higher and it gives that lengthening effect. And then I'm gonna add a belt to kind of like further accentuate where my waist is. In terms of shoes, we have talked extensively about shoes, I feel, so I don't want to dwell here too much. But I'm gonna show you a pair of boots that I think like magically go with every single one of my trousers. And that kind of boot is one with a little bit of a heel, a very slim ankle, and again, that elongated toe box. I've had these boots for years. They were such a good And Other Stories sale find from a few years ago, so I'm sorry I can't link them, but I will look for similar items. But the general idea of this shoe is that the slim ankle fits under all of my jeans and trousers. That little bit of a heel obviously gives you some height physically, but it's also not too uncomfortable to walk in. I can wear these all day and I can stay on my feet all day and be fine. And then that elongated toe box is very lengthening. And I find that this shape, it's like not a square, it's not an almond, it's sort of in between of the two, works really well for casual and dressy settings. If it were a pointed toe, which I think we get told, you know, is very lengthening, I personally feel like a pointed toe is too formal for my lifestyle, so this sort of in between works really well for me. I try not to give tips that include wearing a heel because I guess like that is a little bit of a cheat. I think if you want to look for a flat boot, again, make sure that it has an elongated toe box. But also most of my winter shoes are boots with heels, so it is what it is. I can only show you what I have. For a coat, I have this camel one from Petite Studio. If you are looking for a new coat this winter and you want something really easy to throw on over absolutely anything, I think that this is it. The color is so elegant. The material is a mix of wool, mulberry silk, and alpaca, so it's really soft and warm. I think this is one of their best-selling items, and it's really easy to see why. I would definitely size down in this coat as well because, again, it's cut to be a little bit oversized. This coat is oversized, but it also has a very relaxed shape, so it's really easy to wear over bulky knitwear. And that's actually how you avoid looking bulky, to make sure that there's enough space in your coat to have room for these bulky items. If the arms or the shoulders on your coat are too tight and you have like a chunky knit underneath, it's going to cling to you, it's going to give you weird lumps in places you don't want weird lumps, and that's how you look bulky. I think that's why most of the coats that I wear every day are slightly oversized, because it's just so easy to wear. And again, it's all in the details and the proportion. The lapels aren't too overwhelming on my frame, the buttons and the pockets in the right place. If we compare it to another coat that I have, which I got a few years ago, the proportions are slightly too big on me. You can see that the collar is just too big. It's kind of like falling off my shoulders. I have to play with it a lot to make it look good. And then lastly, for my bag, I recently got this shoulder bag that has extra long straps, which is perfect for wearing over any oversized coats. For this next outfit, I'm going to style this oversized jacket. Again, a super oversized piece, has a drop shoulder and it's very wide, but you can still see my hands. I'm not completely covered in fabric. And the length is also not too long despite it being oversized. I think that when we buy oversized pieces that are made for an average person, they're normally just way too long. And that's just another telltale sign that it's too big. But this jacket just covers my bum and it also has a curved hem. So it's higher at the hips. And again, that just gives like a little bit of relief to the heaviness of this jacket. The trousers I paired it with are also a full length, slightly wide fit. And they're also in a very heavy fabric, which adds to the overall heavy feeling to this outfit. We not only need to balance out the oversized fit of this jacket, we also need to balance out the weight of the fabric as well. I also have it with the chunky brogues again, which we know doesn't work with this kind of trouser. To create balance in this outfit, I have changed the trousers to a slimmer and more cropped pair of trousers. I've also changed to these loafers because they have a slightly longer and like pointier toe, which again helps to elongate the whole outfit. However, I do think that the brogues could work with these trousers as well because again, they're cropped. So we have that slight ankle showing, which adds a bit of relief to the shoes. And also the chunky shoe sort of mirrors the chunky jacket. and that also helps to create a bit of balance. So you can see that there's no one answer here. You can make something work if you tweak something else. So if you want to wear this, then you have to tweak that. And it's just kind of figuring out what those things are. But what if we don't want to wear crop trousers? You know, it's winter and my ankles are cold. You could wear an ankle boot here. I really like pairing these trousers with these ankle boots. It's very elongating as there's no break between the trousers and where the end of the boot is. But if you wanted to wear a full length trouser, I would go with something in a slightly lighter fabric and a straighter leg so that it's not so wide at the bottom. And then of course add a belt so that your waist is highlighted, your legs look longer, and the outfit is completed. I feel like I really went into the weeds of detail in this video, but I really hope that you picked up something that you can use for your own wardrobes. If you want to stick around, I do have another Petite video here. It was for summer clothes, but I think you can still take the same principles and apply it to your winter outfits. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!